Hello everybody, Merry Christmas to all of you at home. So,
stay tuned for
this is the third video that we're doing. Oh, I just got that, sorry, yeah, got the reference. And this one is going to be based on everyone's favourite Christmas special, The Doctor, The Word and the Wardrobe.
Best Christmas ever.
I know. And sort of similar to the previous one we did, which was a head-to-head between our favourite Christmas specials. This is going to be a bit of a battle.
Yes. So as opposed to two separate fighters in each corner, there's kind of me with nothing trying to beat it away with a stick.
Yes.
And we're doing thrusting it, going
for
it's
and
good.
against. So we've got 4 here and against that. And we will kind of get on to this,
Hashtag
I
not my
suppose.
Doctor, The Widow and the Wardrobe.
Oh gosh. I'll just ask you off the bat, is there anything about it that redeems it for you in any way?
It's funny that you asked that, Richard. I do have things that I like about it. I watched it yesterday, as I said to you.
Yes.
For the first time in at least 5 years. I've not gone near it for a long while. Probably since, they did the Time of the Doctor DVD and they had Time of the Doctor and other Christmas specials. Yeah. I sat down, I was very fair. I sort of jotted down a few things I liked, a few things I didn't like, and, judged my overall opinion on it. Yes, there are things I do like. Do you want me to tell you what there are?
I think that would be a good start, yeah.
Well, Matt Smith. I think Matt Smith
is an element in the story.
Totally comfortable in every sense of the word. He elevates anything, even if it's bad, off the page and makes it great. I love how he's referred to as the caretaker in the whole episode. He's never actually called the Doctor.
Right,
I don't think.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think the word Doctor
I
is
love
even
it when
mentioned.
the Doctor has, just generally.
But just as it becomes a new, like Raggedy Man or the Caretaker, or
great.
So I liked that. I liked that how it's sort of a very fairy tale. It seems like a story that would fit nicely in Series 5. I think there are certainly the more touching moments. Like in an episode that I really don't like, I absolutely adore the scene with him and Madge where he says, all that stuff about them being happy now, and the reason you're so angry at them being happy is because they're going to be sad later when you tell them that their dad's died.
Yes.
And I just love that. It's beautifully done by Smith. Claire Skinner, they both play the scene really nicely. Oh, it is a beautiful
I think their interactions throughout the whole thing are a treat to me. I mean, she's a highlight.
They have good chemistry for a one-off.
Yeah,
they have really good chemistry.
And it's a slightly different sort of relationship actually as well. I hadn't particularly thought of that before, but because you've got the older female, older woman, I suppose you get that bit with River Song, and so it's kind of follow on from that in a sense. But that's new and that's different. And okay, there are bits about the premise which are a bit clunky and sort of like the opening scene, like the opening shot where it's like just a couple of shots panning across this spaceship.
Yeah,
and it's so.
That's one of my main complaints, that it's so slow, and that just typifies it as well.
There are some directorial choices I like the thing with Cyril's telescope. The whole way in which the storyline and the backstory is told at the start is quite effective, like with the telegram and Alexander Armstrong going, if you read about the war, you'll will it into existence, and then where will I be? I mean, it's cheesy, but and he's in his plane.
I had that something actually I picked up on, right? So when he's flying through, doing all this stuff, and then the other, he's like someone else, whoever he's flying with. I don't know how they had that much room in a friggin' cock. But anyway, he's like, "Sir, Anderson's in a bad way." We never see that guy or said Anderson ever again. So he lands and he's like, "I'm home for Christmas. Oh my god!" Also, we've got a bleeding man inside the ship, inside the aeroplane. We might want to get him medical attention ASAP. Yeah. None of that. He's just totally chilled. Like, where am I? Oh, good grief! Oh, Christmas! Yeah. And it's like, there's a guy dying in your plane that you said we're going home for Christmas. And there we go.
In fact, a side note as well, apparently that bit, that final scene was shot in 2 halves, because it was somewhere in Lincolnshire, I think, where they had to have
literally
the plane.
thinking that. Yeah. Because the way that it's shot, it's so very obviously Alexander Armstrong in friggin', I don't know, Warwickshire, and the rest of them in Cardiff.
I mean, to go on to another strength as well, which is sort of related to that, I think the soundtrack is very strong.
Yeah.
And there are some weird little Easter eggs and little bits that have either been there before or get picked up again later. So like elsewhere in the series, there's stuff like at the end in that scene set inside the kind of the globe spaceship thing. The music then is like what from the Doctor's theme from series 4. Da, 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 da. Elsewhere, you've got like that first track. I think it's called Geronimo or whatever. In the opening scene, it's got the underpinnings, like the chords that like underpin the 12th Doctor's theme.
I'm glad that I bought the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It came with a double pack with Snowman,
didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But also just in terms of original music as well. I mean,
Madge's
there's
theme.
some great stuff. Madge's theme
is amazing. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
It's beautiful.
Kind of really pinning down on like Madge's theme and that whole idea, and maybe it's more to do with the track than the episode itself or how it's conveyed. Like, I don't know. Like maybe it's more to do with the music than the episode, but there is that real sense of bittersweetness to certainly to the track and then to her kind of whole character. And I suppose one sort of common criticism that's levelled at the story, and the not so much what it's saying or trying to say, but the way it goes about it. You know what I mean? Like weird wooden monsters, with kid actors, with Fairy Tale Forest, comedians in minor little roles. All that sort of stuff.
It typifies a lot of stuff that went on into the rest of the Moffat era. Celebrities being slightly underused in roles.
Yeah.
Trees being made a big point of a story in the Forest of the Night, and wooden people in Knock Knock. All these things were dredged back up as if this was it's very successful in Doctor Who and Wardrobe, so we better bring them back.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I don't. Doctor Who has never done trees well. Never done trees well. I can't think of a single tree.
Well, the Witchfinders.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
But, to wooden...
Bilehurst Crag,
people.
I just remember the name. I love it.
It's brilliant.
Bilehurst Crag.
It's quite Moffat-y in that sense. I mean, definitely when I was rewatching it, there are kind of things that stick out. I think there's a thing about, like, happy crying or whatever.
Oh, that's
like
good. And that links into the end scene, which is my favourite scene in the episode.
So that bit where he,
where he feels himself
is...
and he's happy. He feels himself? No, he doesn't.
Oh, God.
He touches it. No, he doesn't touch himself. He touches his face and he's crying. And I just think it's a beauty. Again, Smith, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill, for that small scene they're in, perfect. They just, exactly what they need to do. Mm-hmm. If I literally just watched that as a prequel between...
What, Series 6 and Series 7?
I was going to say between Wedding of River Song and Asylum of the Daleks, like I usually watch those two episodes a lot. But it's very funny, isn't it, how we had that lovely, beautiful scene, then in a minisode, like a web series, Emmy and Rory break off, and then it comes with Asylum of the Daleks. You'd be so confused if you watched that back to back, wouldn't you? It is, yeah. I mean, Amy's she's so bad in Asylum of the Daleks. Anyway, that scene in isolation, I love it, and I watch that scene quite a lot because it does bring a tear to my eye, even now. And just literally Rory's line of "We set a place for you," and he's like, "We didn't know it was coming." And she's like, "Oh, we always do." And it's like that is so lovely. It's almost as if what it gets right, it gets really right. But unfortunately for me, those moments are few and far between.
Because you were saying as well in a different video, you disagree with the whole thing of the dad kind of coming back from the dead. I mean, he never kind of dies to start with. Really, technically.
In her eyes, he has died.
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention as well earlier on in the video that line, telling him coming home for Christmas. It's so cheesy.
It is cheesy.
It's corny, isn't it? But
And whether he did get home for Christmas, we'll never know, because we never saw those characters ever again. They weren't in wherever Alexander Armstrong filmed it. They got to the wrong side. They're like, we're in the different set. We should be with the plane. But as for that him not dying, personally, I think it not only typifies like Moffat's reluctance to let characters die. You know, and Rory is a prime example of that, and varying degrees of success. Clara, another big one. But I also think that it kind of undervalues Madge's character arc in the sense that she's brought all the way around to telling her kids this, and the Doctor goes in, oh yeah, stop there, because I've fixed it, or, you know, it's all sorted now. And it just kind of feels like, so what are we led to believe here? What's the moral? I don't know. I just something about it didn't sit right in terms of I didn't feel. It just feels like we were going somewhere, and then suddenly Moffat goes, actually no, sorry, I'm not going to do that one. I can't do it. He's alive.
I mean,
but then again, the thing is, it's Christmas, so I understand exactly why he did it, because you don't want
simple.
I mean, then again, you got EastEnders on Christmas Day, and they're always having a barmy in Albert Square, so that's up to the debate. But I understand why he did it.
I guess on the kind of moral thing, like what's the moral of the story? I guess what it comes down to is that whole thing of favours and like Madge doing the Doctor a favour and then the Doctor doing Madge a favour. Then again, he doesn't really do. I mean, what does the Doctor do for Madge?
But then I was thinking that exact same thing. It's like he's actually come in and almost made things worse. But I kind of liked that, because I was like, that's very 11th Doctor for him to. He means well, even if he doesn't quite pull it out of the bag, if that makes sense. He was like, I was going to do a lovely present for you, I was going to make it really nice and Christmassy. Didn't plan on that. Got a bit clinchy in the middle, or whatever he says. But I actually ended up liking that, as opposed to thinking, why? Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that's
but
interesting.
I do get,
it's interesting.
Like, you know, it's bizarre.
I mean, what does he do? He takes them to fairy tale
Narnia.
Narnia, yeah, exactly. He takes them to Narnia, and then essentially, it's like there's that whole thing of how he can't be the person that guides the forest home. You know, he's not up to the job. It's actually Madge who does it herself. She, like, in essence, I mean, it seems weird to say it this way, but she brings her husband back from the dead.
Exactly.
Using a forest and stuff that the Doctor has provided.
Richard, just analyse what you said. She brings her father back to life using a forest and stuff. That's the plot of the Doctor and the Widow and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
It's a big coincidence they had a human mother walk into that forest, isn't it? Otherwise, you know,
otherwise they would have all died.
Yeah, exactly. The trees were like, we're really banking on a Time Lord sending a load of humans through, so that we have any humans, but preferably a mother, because that's what we need to help us. I actually love the line. If this line was said now, it would split the fandom in two, because people would be like, how dare Doctor Who say this? It's when Matt Smith goes, you and I, Cyril, we're weak, but she's mum, she's female, and it's like, oh my, can you imagine if Jodie Whittaker said that line, and the fandom would just rip in two.
And it's mad. It's totally foregrounding that I think stuff like, you know, like with Missy and with the Corsair and stuff. I mean, it's totally part of that whole thing of saying, hey, come on, hurry up, female Doctor time. You can kind of compare it to other stuff like, you know, Craig blowing up Cybermen with Love in Closing Time, same year, or even
same series.
Well, exactly, or even what's his name, Daniel Mays in Night Terrors saving his son. Same series. I mean, they're both fathers, but and this is a mother.
I know. I do like that.
Do you think any of those work?
I do think that's a story that needs to be told. Yeah. Particularly, in that instance, you know, and she is married, but she's essentially a single mum for that episode.
No, the widow.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like that. I love the fact that they're going, you know, they can be strong people in their own right, and she doesn't stop. She's like, I'm going to get my kids back, whatever the cost.
Yes.
I do like that.
It feels like a missed opportunity as well, so just as a side note, that there's not a bigger point made there with, you know, the whole thing of Amy and Rory wanting to get their kid back, which is completely glossed over in Series 6.
And yeah, because they talked about it over the course of the whole series previously.
It skipped across in the series and then comes up here.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
I think it's a story that needs to be told. I just don't know whether this typifies it, especially at the end when it kind of just undercuts. It's like, you know, she was going on a great character arc there, and Christmas could have, you know, she was like, Christmas will always be the thing that took their father away from them. I thought that's a really nice idea.
Yes.
But then what if you flipped it and it's like, no, well, Christmas, instead of being that, it's a time that we remember him, and it's a time that we celebrate all those that we've lost, and all and the Doctor's like, yeah, I kind of lost some people too, and you know, it's that kind of thing. I thought that would have been a lot nicer, but no, it's just magical fairies, and
it is a very kind of easy.
It's a
very kind of convenient.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say cop out, but I think that's a bit too harsh. I just think it's a convenience.
It's in the vein of, you know, like the very end of Last Christmas as well with Clara. I mean, I think it's the exact same thing. I think, to be honest, that's even clunkier. But
because that literally feels like Moffat.
It's literally.
Well, no, it's Jenna Coleman in that instance going, actually, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave yet. Can I have one more series, please? Can we quickly talk about Cyril?
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Thinking about them as a pair, him and Lily, I think Lily's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I'd agree. She's pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? You can say you're really irritated by him or something, or
he's one of the biggest down. Like he pulls the episode down through the mud, drags it through. Poor kid had a lot of the episode riding on his shoulders.
Actually, the actor.
Is he called Morris?
Yeah, interesting name.
Has he been in anything else? I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so he had quite a few scenes just on his own. It's a big responsibility.
Yes, when he's crawling into the parent and stuff.
Yeah, child actors, it's not only hard to perform, but it's hard to write those roles too. And the thing is, I think just in this instance, they picked the wrong lad, because look at, like, last year we had Christmas Carol, Kazran Sardik, the boy who played him, can't remember his name, but he was fantastic. Probably a bit older, obviously, but really good. He had a lot of expression, a lot of emotion. He got his teeth into those scenes. The guy who plays Cyril, I think they needed to pick a kid who perhaps needed to be, as opposed to non-natural, a bit more over the top, because when you've got these scenes when he's literally on his own, he just has the exact same expression. Like, he peers in through this box. What does he do? He should be like, oh my god, like big wide eyes. Oh, I mean, he's got his glasses, so he's technically wide eyes anyway. I think the glasses is a drawback, actually. I think they affect his performance.
But inhibits him.
He doesn't even like, wow, what is this place? He just goes like that. He sees this egg fall off the tree. What does he do? Like that. Nothing.
I'll go to look out for this.
Mum comes back. Mum's back. Yeah. It's not mummy. It's and it's all that stuff. And when you've got a kid who is literally carrying dialogue, scenes with no dialogue, relying solely on his expressions and his reactions, it just falls flat, because he just doesn't do anything, and it makes those scenes such a drag to watch when it's just him walking through a forest, walking up a flight of stairs. Yeah. It makes them so much harder to watch, because he just doesn't pull any faces. Not his fault. He just wasn't right for the role. I think there should have been a kid who was a bit more, who had a bit more expression to him and a bit more. I could see
it now you say it, perhaps. Yeah.
He just seemed to be there for the cute factor of like, you know, he's a round-faced little boy.
Yeah, little ginger glasses. I think they do all sort of look the part. Maybe more Madge and Lily.
Yes.
Than him.
They're very good.
Like with their dressing gowns and stuff. I suppose that's a point to end on, really. Like, okay, like maybe some of it looks the part, or is doing the stuff that you would want it to do, or whatever, but it's not necessarily in the best way, perhaps. I mean, I think to me it still is endearing, and I can look past that. But there are things about it. I mean, I hadn't quite thought about how convenient an ending it is before this discussion, and that maybe is a problem. But then again, it's Christmas. But then I don't know.
Sacrifice the story for the sake of, because Voyage of the Damned ended with a death, and Christmas Carol, you know, there's going to be a death. It's kind of like, what message are you sending?
Revolution of the Daleks is going to be a death, maybe.
Ooh.
Well, it's going to be Jack dying.
Right.
Oh god.
He won't die. Insert clip here of me saying previously this year, they won't die. I'm going to eat my words, I guarantee it. But yeah.
Oh gosh.
There we go. Anyway, yeah. So overall, should we both give a rating to it after this discussion? Has this discussion changed your opinion in any way?
Or
are you still sort of? where you were at the start of this half hour.
I said I was 4. I mean, I'm not like really like.
You won't defend it to the death.
Massive. No, I don't know. I like there are better Christmas specials available, of course. I think it is an underdog that I would probably defend.
Do you think it's
a hill? Is it a hill I'd die on? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Probably not.
I think I'm still in the position, that I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, you called it a corpse.
Trying to dissect this corpse because
post-mortem.
Yeah, it's been so long since the body stinks. I've been 5 years. And
it just reminds me of
it's that flesh. That is the doctor that we're doing the wardrobe.
Been rotting since 2011.
Yes. There we go, personified.
Yeah.
I mean, like if I was to give it a rating, still. Oh sheesh kebab! Oh, he's dropped his wing off. Is that snapped?
Oh damn!
Oh my god! See, look what you've done, Doctor the We're in the Wardrobe. That can be stuck back on easily.
Yeah.
At least your wings can be attached again. Mine are lost to time. Please don't fall over. Do you want to put a bottle of hand sanitizer?
I mean, that is the story arc now for these videos.
I have sanitised my hands, people.
The death of that angel.
That's the epitome.
But like Alexander Armstrong, will it come back to life?
Of course it will. Stephen Moffat. I mean, that's Davies, so no, who knows? I mean, if I was to give it a rating, I think I'll be honest, this discussion has maybe made me sort of see it in a better light. Yeah. So I'd maybe say 4 or 5 out of 10. Probably, I'd say more 4. I think 5's a bit generous. I'm going to go 4 out of 10. There are certainly worse episodes out there. I know I've said in the past that it is the worst, but I think that's being a bit too harsh because there is stuff in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that.
I mean, ranking
worst, or even
ranking wise between Christmas specials, where would you put it between? I mean, I still put it at the bottom. I think this is the one I'd at least. I don't know. Twice Upon a Time, I'm not a massive fan of. But then again, I don't know.
I think actually for the aesthetic of it, I would maybe find it more appealing to watch it than some of the Davies ones, perhaps. But I know that's
heresy to me.
Pretty contentious. Well, exactly, contentious. But if it was a toss-up between that and say The Runaway Bride,
if someone said to you, we're going to put one of these episodes on, which
I would probably go for the Christmas factor. The aesthetic.
Sure.
But
got a Christmas star in Runaway Bride. Got a big red spider.
And
Christmas.
Got July Summer Sun.
I'd still put it at the bottom for me, alongside. I think it's the same level with The Snowman. Like, The Snowman is one that I never go back to watch.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I can watch it, but
I think a lot of people would, from my experience, would say that there's a big difference between those two.
Yeah.
The Snowman and the Doctor in the Wardrobe. But actually, they are kind of similar in lots of ways. Actually,
yeah. I mean, I know Clara dies at the end of it.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
There's that thing at the end of she's still alive.
Yeah.
I'm going to find
the motif of tears again. Like thinking about there's so much, and like monsters. I mean, the Snowmen are a bit more monstrous and evil, but again, that's sort of more of a background thing. They can't speak like the wooden people or the sharks or anything like that. So there are these kind of ideas.
And again, another guest character wasted. Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, and he voices a giant bauble. It's insane.
Well,
but maybe that's a discussion for next Christmas.
Well, maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah. So on that note, do let us know what you think of Doctor Will in the Wardrobe.
Tatwa, which is the acronym for.
Yeah. Well, what more do we need to say?
I can't quite pronounce it because the Tatwa.
Yeah. I'm not going to try and say it. Let us know what you think of that in the comments below. We would love to hear it.
Yes.
And so we're going to do some more stuff now for Christmas and possibly New Year.
Yeah.
And so you'll see them on our channels in the coming days and weeks.
I hope you're having a good Christmassy time at the minute.
Yes. Yeah. And that's it.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye. Did you enjoy that video? We certainly did.
Yeah.
Making whatever video you've just watched. We've got a very special treat, haven't we, Richard?
We have. It's down there.
It's down here. From the lovely people at Character Options, a set that you can win. You can win this set. We've got this lovely B&M Terror of the Zygon set that you yourself can get your hands on. You can win. What can they do to win it, Richard?
So, to win this set, you must make a photo depicting your ideal Doctor Who Christmas special that's never happened yet, be it with action figures, Photoshop, or a combination of the two, or drawing, or whatever you want to do. Some kind of image which shows
your dream Doctor Who Christmas special, exactly, in whatever form.
Yeah.
Be fun, be silly, be creative, and once you've made your image, whatever that may be, send those images to tailoredvisionproductions@gmail.com. The email address will be here, with the subject heading Fairy Tale of New York. See what I did there? A little pun. Also put in the email your full name and also the title of said Dream Christmas episode. Be fun and silly with that as well. We want to see some great titles. Alternatively, tweet us using the hashtag Fairy Tale of New York with the image, again with a lovely title for us to look at. Richard and I will somehow judge one of those entries that can be the winner. You have, from whatever date this video is going up,
whatever date it
is,
the first one went out, which will be on the screen now.
Yes,
until
the 24th of December at midnight. So before you put out your mince pies and carrots for Santa, make sure you've sent us an entry for this lovely competition. Entrance must be UK only, unfortunately, because of postage costs. So sorry, Aussies and all that lot. You can't get your hands on this, well, not this particular set.
No.
There are the outlets available.
And
if you are under 16, please do ask permission of an adult before you enter, just to make sure everything's okay. So, get creative, people, get entering, and good luck.